Question 106. Which of the following would be good reasons to move from on-premises to the AWS cloud? Select two options. Now the options are: Option 1. Outsource all security responsibility. Option 2. Improve agility and elasticity. Option 3. Gain access to free technical support services. Option 4. Gain end-to-end operational management of the entire infrastructure stack. Option 5. Reduce cost through easier right sizing of workloads. And the correct answer is Option 2. Improve agility and elasticity. And Option 5. Reduce cost through easier right sizing of workloads. Explanation. There are many benefits to moving to the AWS cloud, and these include reducing cost through right sizing workloads. This is easier with elastic computing and the ability to easily adjust workloads, monitor utilization, and programmatically make changes. You can improve agility and elasticity through services such as auto-scaling, elastic load balancing, and highly scalable services such as S3 and Lambda. Reduce cost through easier right sizing of workloads is a correct answer. Improve agility and elasticity is also a correct answer. Gain access to free technical support services is incorrect. You do not get free technical support services with AWS. Gain end-to-end operational management of the entire infrastructure stack is incorrect. You do not gain end-to-end operational management of your entire infrastructure stack. AWS manages the infrastructure and for some services the application too. Outsource all security responsibility is incorrect. You do not outsource all security responsibility with AWS. You are still responsible for ensuring the security of your applications, users, and data. Next question. An elastic IP address can be remapped between EC2 instances across which boundaries? Now the options are: Option 1. Availability zones. Option 2. Regions. Option 3. DB subnets. Option 4. Edge locations. And the correct answer is Option 1. Availability zones. Explanation. Elastic IP addresses are for use in a specific region only and can therefore only be remapped between instances within that region. You can use elastic IP addresses to mask the failure of an instance in one availability zone by rapidly remapping the address to an instance in another availability zone. Availability zones is the correct answer. Regions is incorrect as you cannot remap across regions. Edge locations is incorrect. Edge locations are used by CloudFront and are not places where you can run EC2 instances. DB subnets is incorrect. DB subnets groups are used by the RDS relational database service and are not used for running EC2 instances. Next question. Which type of Amazon RDS automated backup allows you to restore the database with a granularity of as little as 5 minutes? Now the options are: Option 1. Point-in-time recovery. Option 2. Incremental backup. Option 3. Snapshot backup. Option 4. Full backup. And the correct answer is Option 1. Point-in-time recovery. Explanation. You can restore an Amazon RDS database instance to a specific point in time with a granularity of 5 minutes. Amazon RDS uses transaction logs which it uploads to Amazon S3 to do this. Point-in-time recovery is the correct answer. Snapshot backup is incorrect. This is not a point-in-time backup with 5-minute granularity. Full backup is incorrect. This just describes taking a fully backup of the database, typically with backup software. Incremental backup is incorrect. This describes taking a backup of items that have changed since the last backup. Next question. Which of the following must be used together to gain programmatic access to an AWS account? Select two options. Now the options are: Option 1. A primary key. Option 2. An access key ID. Option 3. A user ID. Option 4. A secondary key. Option 5. A secret access key. And the correct answer is Option 2. An access key ID and Option 5. A secret access key. Explanation. Access keys are long-term credentials for an IAM user or the AWS account root user. You can use access keys to sign programmatic requests to the AWS CLI or AWS API directly or using the AWS SDK. Access keys consist of two parts, an access key ID and a secret access key. Like a username and password, you must use both the access key ID and secret access keys together to authenticate your request. Manage your access keys as securely as you do your username and password. An access key ID is the correct answer. A secret access key is the correct answer. A primary key is incorrect. Primary keys are not associated with authentication. A user ID is incorrect. A user ID is used to log on using the AWS Management Console, not programmatically. A secondary key is incorrect. Secondary keys are not associated with authentication. Next question. With which service can a developer upload code using a zip or WAR file and have the service handle the end-to-end deployment of the resources? Now the options are: Option 1, AWS Elastic Beanstalk. Option 2, Amazon ECS. Option 3, AWS Code Commit. Option 4, AWS Code Deploy. And the correct answer is Option 1, AWS Elastic Beanstalk. Explanation. AWS Elastic Beanstalk can be used to quickly deploy and manage applications in the AWS cloud. Developers upload applications and Elastic Beanstalk handles the deployment details of capacity provisioning, load balancing, auto-scaling, and application health monitoring. You can upload code directly using a zip or WAR file. You can also use a Git archive. AWS Elastic Beanstalk is the correct answer. AWS Code Deploy is incorrect. AWS Code Deploy is a fully managed deployment service that automates software deployments to a variety of compute services such as Amazon EC2, AWS Lambda, and on-premises servers. Amazon ECS is incorrect. Amazon Elastic Container Service is a managed service for running Docker containers. AWS Code Commit is incorrect. AWS Code Commit is a fully managed source control service that hosts secure Git-based repositories. It doesn't actually automate the build of the code or infrastructure on which it runs. Next question. A cloud practitioner needs to decrease application latency and increase performance for globally distributed users. Which services can assist? Select two options. Now the options are: Option 1, Amazon ElastiCache. Option 2, Amazon App Stream 2.0. Option 3, Amazon S3. Option 4, Amazon ECS. Option 5, Amazon CloudFront. And the correct answer is Option 3, Amazon S3, and Option 5, Amazon CloudFront. Explanation. Amazon S3 is an object-based storage system. It can be used to store data such as files and images that need to be served. Optionally, an S3 bucket can be configured as a static website. Amazon CloudFront is a content delivery network CDN that catches content at edge locations around the world. These two services can work together with an S3 bucket configured as an origin for the CloudFront distribution. Users around the world will then be able to pull the content from the local edge location with lower latency and better performance. Amazon S3 is a correct answer. Amazon CloudFront is also a correct answer. Amazon ECS is incorrect. The Elastic Container Services ECS is used for running Docker containers on AWS. This is not going to help with reducing latency or increasing performance for global users. Amazon App Stream 2.0 is incorrect. This is an application streaming service for streaming applications to computers. It is unsuitable for these requirements. Amazon ElastiCache is incorrect. ElastiCache caches data from a database in memory. It is suitable for these requirements. Next question. A cloud practitioner is developing a disaster recovery plan and intends to replicate data between multiple geographic areas. Which of the following meets these requirements? Now the options are: Option 1, Edge Locations. Option 2, AWS Accounts. Option 3, Availability Zones. Option 4, AWS Regions. And the correct answer is Option 4, AWS Regions. Explanation: AWS has the concept of a region, which is a physical location around the world where we cluster data centers. We call each group of logical data centers an availability zone. Each AWS region consists of multiple, isolated and physically separate AZs within a geographic area. Therefore, the cloud practitioner should replicate data between multiple regions as these are separate geographical areas. AWS regions is the correct answer. AWS accounts is incorrect. An account is not a geographic area. Availability zones is incorrect. AZs are within a region, not across geographical areas. Edge locations is incorrect. These are not locations to which you can replicate your data. They are used primarily by Amazon CloudFront for caching content, not for disaster recovery. Next question. An application that is deployed across multiple availability zones could be described as. Now the options are: Option 1, being highly available. Option 2, being secure. Option 3, having global reach. Option 4, having elasticity. And the correct answer is Option 1, being highly available. Explanation: when you deploy an application across multiple availability zones, the application can be considered to be highly available. You must also have a way of directing traffic to the application in each AZ, such as an elastic load balancer. The diagram below depicts an example of a highly available application deployed on EC2 instances in multiple AZs and using an ELB to direct traffic. Being highly available is the correct answer. Having global reach is incorrect, as this refers to deploying applications that can be connected to from around the world and also deploying applications into different regions. Being secure is incorrect, as this is not an example of the implementation of security. Having elasticity is incorrect. Auto-scaling is an example of elasticity, and it is not mentioned in this question. Next question. Assuming you have configured them correctly, which AWS services can scale automatically without intervention? Select two options. Now the options are: Option 1, Amazon S3. Option 2, Amazon DynamoDB. Option 3, Amazon EBS. Option 4, Amazon RDS. Option 5, Amazon EC2. And the correct answer is Option 1, Amazon S3. And Option 2, Amazon DynamoDB. Explanation: both S3 and DynamoDB automatically scale as demand dictates. In the case of DynamoDB, you can either configure the on-demand or provisioned capacity mode. With on-demand capacity mode, DynamoDB automatically adjusts the read and write throughput for you. EBS and RDS do not scale automatically. You must intervene to adjust volume sizes and database instance types to scale these resources. Amazon S3 is the correct answer. Amazon DynamoDB is also a correct answer. Amazon RDS is incorrect. Amazon EC2 is incorrect. EC2 cannot scale automatically. You need to use auto-scaling to scale the number of EC2 instances deployed. Amazon EBS is incorrect. Next question. Which services allow you to store files on AWS? Select two options. Now the options are: Option 1, Amazon Lightsail. Option 2, Amazon EFS. Option 3, AWS Lambda. Option 4, Amazon SQS. Option 5, Amazon EBS. And the correct answer is Option 2, Amazon EFS. And Option 5, Amazon EBS. Explanation: you can store files on the Elastic Block Store EBS and Elastic File System EFS. EBS volumes are mounted as block devices to EC2 instances, and EFS volumes are mounted to the instance using the NFS protocol. Amazon EBS is the correct answer. Amazon EFS is also a correct answer. AWS Lambda is incorrect. AWS Lambda is a compute service for running code as functions. Amazon Lightsail is incorrect. Amazon Light Sail is a compute service for running instances. Amazon SQS is incorrect. Amazon Simple Queue Service SQS is a message bus for temporarily storing data that is being passed between application components. Next question. Which of the following are advantages of using the AWS cloud computing over legacy IT? Select two options. Now the options are: Option 1. You don't need to patch your operating systems. Option 2. You can bring new applications to market faster. Option 3. You are able to pass responsibility for the availability of your application to AWS. Option 4. You don't need to worry about over-provisioning as you can elastically scale. Option 5. You can bring services closer to your end users. And the correct answer is Option 2. You can bring new applications to market faster. And Option 4. You don't need to worry about over-provisioning as you can elastically scale. Explanation. With cloud computing, you no longer need to guess about capacity as you can elastically scale. This means you don't end up over-provisioning but instead react to the load on your servers. You can also be faster and more agile with development and release of applications. You don't need to worry about over-provisioning as you can elastically scale is correct answer. You can bring new applications to market faster is also a correct answer. You are able to pass responsibility for the availability of your application to AWS is incorrect. You do not pass responsibility for your application to AWS. AWS runs the infrastructure but you still manage the application. You don't need to patch your operating systems is incorrect. You still need to patch your own operating systems. You can bring services closer to your end users is incorrect. The cloud is centralized, so you won't necessarily bring services closer to your end users. Next question. A company wants to utilize a pay-as-you-go cloud model for all of their applications without capex cost and which is highly elastic. Which cloud delivery model will suit them best? Now the options are: Option 1. Hybrid. Option 2. Private. Option 3. On-premise. Option 4. Public. And the correct answer is Option 4. Public. Explanation. The public cloud is offered under a purely pay-as-you-go model unless you choose to reserve and allows companies to completely avoid capex cost. The public cloud is also highly elastic, so companies can grow and shrink the applications as demand changes. Private and on-premise clouds are essentially the same, though both could be managed by a third party and even could be delivered under an OpEx model by some vendors. However, they are typically more capex heavy and the elasticity is limited. A hybrid model combines public and private, and this company wants to go all in on a single model. Public is the correct answer. Private is incorrect. Hybrid is incorrect. On-premise is incorrect. Next question. To reward customers for using their services, what are two ways AWS reduce prices? Select two options. Now the options are: Option 1. Volume-based discounts when you use more services. Option 2. Reduced cost for reserved capacity. Option 3. Reduction in inbound data transfer charges. Option 4. Removal of termination fees for customers who spend more. Option 5. Discounts for using a wider variety of services. And the correct answer is Option 1. Volume-based discounts when you use more services. And Option 2. Reduced cost for reserved capacity. Explanation. AWS provide volume-based discount so that when you use more services, you reduce the cost per service. You can also reserve capacity by locking into fixed 1 or 3 year contracts to get significant discounts. You never pay for inbound data transfer. You don't get discounts for using a variety of services. Only when you use more services. There are never termination fees with AWS. Volume-based discounts when you use more services is the correct answer. Reduced cost for reserved capacity is the correct answer. Reduction in inbound data transfer charges is incorrect. Discounts for using a wider variety of services is incorrect. Removal of termination fees for customers who spend more is incorrect. Next question. How can a company protect their Amazon S3 data from a regional disaster? Now the options are: Option 1. Use lifecycle actions to move to another S3 storage class. Option 2. Use cross-region replication CRR to copy to another region. Option 3. Enable multi-factor authentication MFA delete. Option 4. Archive to Amazon Glacier. And the correct answer is Option 2. Use cross-region replication to copy to another region. Explanation: cross-region replication is used to copy objects across Amazon S3 buckets in different AWS regions. The only option here that will help is to use CRR to copy the data to another region. This will provide disaster recovery. Use cross-region replication to copy to another region is the correct answer. Archive to Amazon Glacier is incorrect. Moving to Glacier does not copy the data out of the region. Use lifecycle actions to move to another S3 storage class is incorrect, as this will not move the data to another region. Enable multi-factor authentication delete is incorrect. Enabling MFA delete will not protect the data from a regional disaster. Next question. Which of the following Amazon EC2 pricing models allows customer to use existing server-bound software licenses? Now the options are: Option 1. Reserved instances. Option 2. Dedicated host. Option 3. On-demand instances. Option 4. Spot instances. And the correct answer is Option 2. Dedicated host. Explanation: Amazon EC2 dedicated host allow you to use your eligible software licenses from vendors such as Microsoft and Oracle on Amazon EC2, so that you get the flexibility and cost effectiveness of using your own licenses, but with the resiliency, simplicity, and elasticity of AWS. An Amazon EC2 dedicated host is a physical server fully dedicated for your use, so you can help address corporate compliance requirements. Dedicated host is the correct answer. On-demand instances is incorrect. This is a standard pricing model and does not offer the advantages requested. Spot instances is incorrect. This is used to obtain discounted pricing for short-term requirements that can be interrupted. Reserved instances is incorrect. This is used to lower cost by reserving uses of an instance for a term of 1 or 3 years. Thank you for watching this video. Buy our AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner CLF-C01 premium questions with 50% off. Check link in the description.